at Sergei's, a floor level, a white canvas with fine white diagonal scars. Sergei looks at his painting, thrilled. Mark looks at the painting. Sergei looks at Mark, looking at the painting. Long silence from both of them, a whole range of wordless emotions. Expensive? 200,000. 200,000? Huntington would take it off my hands for 220. Who's that? Huntington. Never heard of him. Huntington, the Huntington Gallery. The Huntington Gallery would take it off your hands for 220. No, not the gallery. Him, Huntington himself, for his own collection. Then why didn't Huntington buy it? It's important for them to sell to private clients. That's how the market circulates. Well, you're not in the right place. Look at it from this angle. Can you see the lines? What's the name of the painter? Antrios. Well known. Very, very. Sergei, you haven't bought this painting for 200,000 francs. You don't understand. That's what it costs. It's an Antrios. You haven't bought this painting for 200,000 francs. It might have known you'd missed the point. You paid 200,000 francs for this shit. Sergei as if alone. My friend Mark's an intelligent enough fellow. I've always valued our relationship. He has a good job. He's an aeronautical engineer, but he's one of those new style intellectuals who are not only enemies of modernism, but seem to take some sort of incomprehensible pride in running it down. In recent years, these nostalgia merchants have become quite breathtakingly arrogant. Same pair, same place, same painting. One question. What do you mean, this shit? Sergei, where's your sense of humor? Why aren't you laughing? It's fantastic, you buying this painting. Mark laughs. Sergei remains stony. I don't care how fantastic you think it is. I don't mind if you laugh, but I would like to know what you mean by this shit. Okay, you're taking the piss. No, I'm not. By whose standards is it shit? If you call something shit, you need to have some criterion to judge it by. Who are you talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? Hello? You have no interest whatsoever in contemporary painting. You never have had. This is a field about which you know absolutely nothing. So how can you assert that any given object which conforms to laws you don't understand is shit? Because it is. It's shit. I'm sorry. Sergei, alone. He doesn't like the painting. Fine. But there was no warmth in the way he reacted. No attempt. No warmth when he dismissed it out of hand. Just that vile, pretentious laugh. A real no-all laugh. I hated that laugh. Mark, alone. It's a complete mystery to me, Sergei buying this painting. It's unsettled me. It's filled me with some indefinable unease. When I left his place, I had to take 3 capsules of Gelsemium 9X, which Paula recommended. Gelsemium is Ignatia, she said. Gelsemium is Ignatia, which do you prefer? I mean, how the hell should I know? Because I couldn't begin to understand how Sergei, my friend, could have bought that picture. 200,000 francs. He's comfortably off, but he's hardly rolling in money. Comfortable, no more. Just comfortable. And he spends 200 grand on a white painting. I must go and see Ivan. He's a friend of ours. I have to discuss this with Ivan. Mind you, Ivan's a very tolerant bloke, which of course when it comes to relationships is the worst thing you can be. Ivan's very tolerant because he couldn't care less. If Ivan tolerates the fact that Sergei has spent 200 grand on some piece of white shit, it's because he couldn't care less about Sergei. It's obviously at Ivan's on the wall some daub. Ivan is on all fours with his back to us. He seems to be looking for something underneath a piece of furniture as he does so. He turns to introduce himself. A white painting. Beautiful. I'm Ivan. I'm a bit tense at the moment because, having spent my life in textiles, I've just found a new job as a sales agent for a wholesale stationery business. People like me, my professional life has always been a failure, and I'm getting married in a couple of weeks. She's a lovely, intelligent girl from a good family. Mark enters. Ivan has resumed his search and has his back to him. What are you doing? I'm looking for the top of my pen. Time passes. Alright, that's enough. I had it 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter. Wait, yes it does. Okay, Mark gets down on his knees to help him look. Both of them spend some time looking. Mark straightens up. Stop it. Buy another one. It's a felt tip. Felt tips are special. They'll write on any surface. It's just infuriating. Objects. I can't tell you how much they infuriate me. I had it in my hand 5 minutes ago. Are you going to live here? Do you think it's suitable for a young couple? Young couple? Try not to laugh like that in front of Catherine. How's the stationery business? Alright, I'm learning. You lost weight? A bit. I'm pissed off about that top. It'll dry up. Sit down. If you go on looking for that top, I'm leaving. Okay, I'll stop. You want something to drink? A Perrier if you have one. Have you seen Sergey lately? No. Have you? Yesterday. Is he well? Very. He's just bought a painting. Oh yes. Nice. White? White. White. Imagine a canvas about 5 foot by 4 with a white background, completely white in fact, with fine white diagonal stripes, and maybe another horizontal white line towards the bottom. How can you see them? What? These white lines. If the background's white, then how can you see the lines? You just do, because I suppose the lines are slightly grey, or vice versa, or anyway, there are degrees of white. There's more than one kind of white. Don't get upset. Why are you getting upset? You immediately start quibbling. Why can't you let me finish? Alright, go on. Right, so you have an idea of what the painting looks like. I think so, yes. Now, you have to guess how much Sergey paid for it. Who's the painter? Andrios. Have you heard of him? No. Is he fashionable? I knew you were going to ask me that. Well, it's logical. No, it isn't logical. Of course it's logical. You asked me to guess the price. You know very well the price depends on how fashionable the painter might be. I'm not asking you to apply a whole set of critical standards. I'm not asking you for a professional valuation. I'm asking you what you, Ivan, would give for a white painting tarted up with a few off-white stripes. Oh, bugger all. Right, and what about Sergey? Pick a figure at random. 10,000 francs. Ha, 50,000. 100,000. Keep going. 150. 200? 200. 200 grand. No. Yes. 200 grand. 200 grand. Has he gone crazy? Oh, looks like it. All the same. What do you mean all the same? If it makes him happy, he can afford it. So that's what you think, is it? Why? What do you think? You don't understand the seriousness of this, do you? No. It's strange how you're missing the basic point of the story. All you can see is externals. You don't understand the seriousness of it. What is the seriousness of it? Don't you understand what this means? Would you like a cashew nut? Don't you see that suddenly, in some grotesque way, Sergey fancies himself as a collector? Well, from now on, our friend Sergey is one of the great connoisseurs. Bollocks. Well, of course it's bollocks. You can't buy your way in that cheap. But that's what he thinks. Oh, I see. Doesn't that upset you? No. Not if it makes him happy. If it makes him happy, what's that supposed to mean? What sort of philosophy is that, if it makes him happy? As long as it's not doing any harm to anyone else. But it is. It's doing harm to me. I'm disturbed. I'm disturbed more than that. I'm hurt. Yes, I am. I'm fond of Sergei, and to see him let himself be ripped off and lose every ounce of discernment through sheer snobbery. I don't know why you're so surprised. He's always haunted galleries in the most absurd way. He's always been an exhibition freak. He's always been a freak, but a freak with a sense of humor. You see, basically what really upsets me is that you can't have a laugh with him anymore. I'm sure you can. You can't. Have you even tried? Of course I've tried. I laughed heartily. What do you think I did? He didn't crack a smile. Mind you, 200 grand, I suppose it might be hard to see the funny side. Yes. I'll make him laugh. I'd be amazed. Any more nuts? He'll laugh. You just wait. At Sergei's. Sergei is with Ivan. The painting isn't there. And you get on with the in-laws. Wonderfully, as far as they're concerned. I'm on some Burke tottering from one dodgy job to another, and now I'm groping my way into the world of vellum. This thing on my hand. What is it? Sergei examines it. Is it serious? No. Oh, good. How are things? Nothing. A lot of work. Exhausted. It's nice to see you. You never I don't like to disturb you. You're joking. You just speak to my secretary and I'll call you back right away. I suppose so. Your place gets more and more monastic. Yes. Seen Mark recently? Not recently, no. Have you? About 2 or 3 days ago. Is he alright? Yes, more or less. Oh. No, he's alright. I talked to him on the phone last week. He seemed alright. Well, he is. He's alright. You seem to be implying he wasn't alright. On the contrary, I said he was alright. More or less, you said. Yes, more or less. More or less alright. Ivan wanders around the room. You been out? Seen anything? No, I can't afford to go out. Oh. I'm ruined. Oh, you want to see something special? Would you like to? Of course I would. Show me. Sergei exits and returns with the Antrios, which he turns round and sets down in front of Ivan. Ivan looks at the Ivan looks at the painting and, strangely enough, doesn't manage the hearty laugh he'd predicted. Ivan studies the painting and Sergei studies Ivan. Oh, yes. Yes. Antrios. Yes. It's a 70s Antrios, worth mentioning. He's going through a similar phase now, but this one's from the 70s. Yes, expensive. In absolute terms, yes. In fact, no. You like it. Oh, yes. Plain. Yes. And at the same time, magnetic. Yes. You don't really get the resonance just at the moment. Well, a bit. Actually, you don't. You have to come back in the middle of the day that resonance you get from something monochromatic. It doesn't really happen under artificial light. Not that it is actually monochromatic. No. How much is it? 200,000. Very reasonable. Very. Suddenly, Sergei bursts out laughing, immediately followed by Ivan. Both of them roar with laughter. Crazy or what? Crazy. 200 grand. 200K. 200K magic. 200 carat magic. Hearty laughter. They stop. They look at each other. They start again. Then stop. They've calmed down. You know Mark's seen this painting? Oh. Devastated. Oh. He told me it was crap. A completely inappropriate description. Absolutely. You can't call this poop. No. You can say I don't get it. I can't grasp it. You can't say it's shit. You've seen it, place. Nothing to see. It's like yours. What I mean is you couldn't care less. His taste is classical. He likes things classical. What do you expect? He started with this sardonic laugh. Not a trace of charm, not a trace of humor. You know Mark is moody. There's nothing new about that. He has no sense of humor. With you I can laugh. With him, I'm like a block of ice. It's true he's a bit gloomy at the moment. I don't blame him for not responding to this painting. He hasn't the training. There's a whole apprenticeship you have to go through. Which he hasn't either, because he's never wanted to, or because he has no particular instinct for it. None of that matters. No, what I blame him for is his tone of voice, his complacency, his tactlessness. I blame him for his insensitivity. I don't blame him for not being interested in modern art. I couldn't give a toss about that. I like him for other reasons, and he likes you. No. I felt it the other day. A kind of condescension, contempt with a really bitter edge. No, surely not. Oh yes. Don't keep trying to smooth things over. Would you get this urge to be the great reconciler of the human race? Why do you admit this Mark is a trophy? If he hasn't already atrophied at Mark's on the wall, a figurative painting, a landscape seen through a window. We had a laugh. You had a laugh. We had a laugh, both of us. We had a laugh. I promise you in Catherine's life, we had a good laugh, both of us, together. You told him it was shit and you had a good laugh. No, I didn't tell him it was crap. We laughed spontaneously. You arrived, you looked at the painting and you laughed, and then he laughed. Yes, if you like. We talked a bit, then it was more or less as you described it. A genuine laugh, was it? Perfectly genuine. Well then, I've made a mistake. Good, I'm really pleased to hear it. It wasn't even better than you think. It was Sergei who laughed first. It was Sergei who laughed first? Yes. He laughed first and you joined in. Yes, but what made him laugh? He laughed because he sensed I was about to laugh. If you like, he laughed to put me at my ease. It doesn't count if he laughed first. If he laughed first, it was to diffuse your laughter. It means it wasn't a genuine laugh. Art by Yasmina, Reza.